I just had the strangest conversation with someone I did not expect to be a narcissist. And now I really believe that they're a narcissist. Now I knew something was up, right? Like there was something off about this person. I couldn't quite put my finger on it, but I always give people reasonable doubt. And like she would, what do you call it? Like brown nosing going on, or just like schmoozing, right? When I went back and read all the DMs, I realized how incongruent she really is. But anyway, it got real in our conversation today. So we actually had a physical phone conversation because I wanted to try to resolve something with her that went unspoken. There was obviously some kind of friction, some reason, because she unfollowed me a couple months back. And I was trying not to think about it, but I thought, well, Taylor, be the bigger person. Let's just see if we can resolve this or clarify it at the least. And I messaged her, basically just that, like a short paragraph. Not even a paragraph, like just like a short line or two that said, I noticed you unfollowed me and maybe there's some unspoken feelings that we need to clear the air. Do you want to chat? So she gave me her phone number. I gave her a call. I had the baby on my lap. Like I was kind of laughing and giggling with him. And we start off this conversation kind of awkwardly, but then I was like, so I don't really need you to follow me. It's okay if you unfollow me, but I just wasn't sure what that was about. And I don't really know what you're talking about, what upset you. And she was like, well, I don't remember the specifics of the situation either, but I know in general you just come in and you say that I'm wrong and we just have two different opinions. And it just went in circles because then she tried to trap me in some kind of corner, right? Like she was arguing logistics, and I didn't understand what she was saying. It was so weird, cold and detached. And when I said to her, I felt like you were being insincere. I don't remember the details of the actual, back and forth exchange that we had online a few months ago. And if you want to, I said, if you want to, let's go back and look at it so we can clarify that. Because she said she couldn't remember it either. And she was like, oh, so you just felt that I was being insecure? Feelings aren't facts, Taylor. And I'm like, well, that's kind of how relationships work, right? Like, I felt you were being insincere to me. This wasn't like some kind of, court case where we were putting you up for defense of this allegation that you are insincere. Like, it was just my personal feeling, us being friendly with each other, that you were being insincere with me. And I was trying to have that conversation, and it obviously wasn't going well publicly, so we just stopped. But then she unfollowed me, right? So anyway, here are some signs, telltale signs, that you are arguing with the narcissist. Number one, they never take accountability. In this case, obviously there wasn't necessarily fault, but if I said that there was something that I felt offended by, they were definitely trying to completely overshadow my feelings as if they were irrelevant and irrational. I'm too sensitive. Number two, they gaslight you. They ignore or deny things that they said or did. Number three, they deflect and change the subject. She totally did this the whole conversation. It was going around in circles. And so they just start to point the finger and attack you instead of addressing the actual issue. And I wasn't even trying to assign any kind of blame on her. I really was just trying to repair. I just wanted to clear the air and say what was going on, and we couldn't even agree to that. Like, it was just this weird, bizarre conversation. Number four is they play the victim. Right? But the best one is number five. They make everything into a power struggle. That's exactly what I experienced. Arguments with them feel exhausting and one-sided because they're not there to repair or resolve anything. They're there to win. What I said to her, I described it as I felt railroaded. I felt like the premise of the conversation was totally incongruent, like it was insincere. Like she's like, oh yeah, call me. And then once I get on the phone, it was like I walked into a trap. And all I was trying to do was to clear the air. And it wasn't even anything that I was trying to pin on her. It was so bizarre. Anyway, so the crescendo of this whole thing is that she was not listening to me. Like, I had to hang up. But here's the thing. Have you ever been on a phone call with a creep or a scammer and you start to get that icky feeling like they're trying to violate you? That's exactly how I felt. And I got so uncomfortable and I felt so trapped that that was my only recourse. Hey, it was, not the most calm and collected thing to do, but she wasn't participating in a good faith conversation, and she wasn't being cool and collected either. She was escalating, and I said, listen, I feel like you're escalating, and I'm trying to keep this like a calm conversation. Nope, no like reciprocity there at all. So you know what? It's a boundary. You're not going to respect my boundary. That's it. I'm hanging up the phone. If we can't talk civilly, I'm not talking to you. So then I sent her a message because I was so floored that that happened. I sent her a message and I said, ever want to have like a calm and respectful conversation? I'm here. But that was intense. And then it just got worse and she blocked me. I don't want to be a suspicious person, but I definitely was tentative about this one because there were some things, that didn't sit right with me, but I really wanted to extend her good faith and reasonable doubt. And just the schmoozing. People who schmooze like that, and then there's things that jump out at you as incongruent. They just don't add up. They say one thing and do another, or you realize that the facts don't match. Anyway, so the jury was out, and now I have clarity. Now I know she's another one of these unhinged people that wear the mask. She's a Ryan Reynolds.